Hey, Charles.
Hello,
So my name is Deirdre.
I'm Charles.
I'm an occupational therapist
Okay,
from Canada. And you're from
Nevin actually, which is very
Nevin.
close to here,
a,
just down the road.
we just finished staying at Chestnut Ridge Camp and we stayed in Mebane Lodge or Mebane, the cabin. Yeah.
Yeah,
So who's with you
this is my wife,
today?
Debra.
Hey, Debra. So thanks you guys so much for sitting down and chatting today. We're curious a little, if you can tell us a little bit about, first of all, what's your diagnosis of dementia?
Okay.
And how did you find out about it? What was happening?
The diagnosis that I received was posterior cortical atrophy.
Posterior cortical atrophy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and which basically the back of the brain
Okay.
is starting to go dark, is the way I've been looking at it.
Okay.
Which unfortunately is also your ability to understand the world.
Okay. So visual cues are starting to, they make different sense to you than they do for other people.
Right. Or where things are, what I learned over time with my eyes, basically little liars.
Eyes are lying to you.
So I would go through like a doorway, for example, and every time I would just slam right into the door jamb itself because where I think it is and what my brain's telling me it's right here. It's a few feet over and that's where you're actually at.
Okay. So you said sounds like you were walking into door frames.
I was definitely walking into door
Was
frames.
that kind of one of the first things where you noticed something might be changing or wrong or just not right?
Trouble walking downstairs.
Yeah.
What was that depth?
Depth
Walking
perception.
downstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which drove the ET people nuts. I would go down the stairs backwards. It was for me safer because
The back.
of keeping that perception smaller and going up and down the stairs backwards. Or the other thing they really didn't like was I'd close my eyes and count the stairs.
Okay.
It was the only that because if I could cut out my eyes, things stabilize and
Okay, so
Yeah.
you blocked out that cue
Yeah.
that was actually malfunctioning
right,
Yep.
and used some other senses
right,
to sort out
yeah,
where you were going, and
Like-
especially how to move from level to level.
Yes, and right now, when riding in a car, it's
Yes.
difficult
Oh, do you have to drive backwards?
coordinate almost the visual with the sensation.
Yes.
So
That's
he
true.
rides with a blindfold. So that he doesn't get that discordance.
yeah, because the input on the side, especially in the peripheral,
Yeah.
I have a hard time interpreting it. I don't understand it, and when it's too much of it, then the brain just goes into recovery, I guess,
Okay.
self-preservation, and things just start shutting down.
Okay. Yeah. So it just kind of wants to shut down and not have to deal with anything
Exactly.
else that's might be sensory and incoming.
Right. One of the early symptoms was also when around loud noises,
Okay.
his other symptoms would get worse. So we'd be someplace loud, like a football game, and he would
Okay.
get dizzy.
Interesting.
It's unstable. Yeah.
So
hotel lobby where it's loud, but those things will then
Yep,
cause dizziness.
dinging elevators and
But
clanking.
as soon as we were moved, like one hotel that had a loud water feature,
Mm,
and so it was debilitating. I couldn't walk. But when it got me away from the sound and where it was quieter, then all of a sudden now you can start walking again. Those functions start returning.
Interesting. So seems like an example of where incoming sensory data, both into your eyes and auditory, things you were hearing, actually started messing your motor skills, your
Correct.
gross motor skills for
Yeah.
walking, moving, your whole perception of your doors from level to level.
Yeah, and it's like times I can walk, but it's like an open space going without a wall to guide me or that extra sensory. It's extremely difficult,
Yeah.
and it's almost like you're drunk. The whole world will start shifting and moving, and you can't. So your odds of falling greatly increase.
Yeah.
That's where we discovered that if I sat down originally in a transport chair and kept it level and just be able to focus, like keep everything in front of me, I could go and last even longer throughout the day instead of crashing out and burning out.
Okay.
Symptom that was, well, to me, it was ignoring because they called it visual agnosia
Okay. Yep.
because of the back of the brain
Mm-hmm.
issues there. I was trying to find my wallet. It could be literally right in front of me,
Yep.
but I couldn't see it.
But you couldn't see
The
it.
brain didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
It didn't interpret what it is. But if I could touch it, then it becomes real.
Two pieces
It
of
connected.
sensory
Yeah,
data
coming
connected
together.
it.
Then I can make
Yep.
the object reappear,
Yeah.
and I can, okay, this is what,
And you're a magician.
yeah, to myself.
No wallet.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, so that part's kind of frustrating because I'm always losing something. And then I have to have somebody else come behind me. Because there's a good chance it's really there, I just can't see it. Yeah, that was one of the symptoms I thought was very challenging at times.
So Charles and Deborah, I'm curious about like the journey to diagnosis.
Okay,
What happened, when you did you go to your doctor with your symptoms and say, hey, what's going on? What happened from there to, being told that you had posterior cortical atrophy?
that was in my opinion, a very long journey that started, I want to say 2017 or more.
Mhm.
Or
Okay.
so I had memory issues. We saw signs there. And then there is a genetic component, I think, in my family side of dementia and
Okay.
whatnot. So that was well known. Where I feel like I screwed up, and I just in my mind in my life, is there was a period there between 2017 to 2019. I wasn't sleeping through the night, and I could not get a full night's sleep. I could count on one hand the number of times I actually slept through the night in a year. And then by the end of the second year, it was me resisting going to a doctor.
Okay.
That's bottom line. But say into the second year, we finally did a sleep study,
Okay.
and that number was beyond stupid. Of how they were like, here's where, this is a problem. You're way over here now. So I was not getting enough oxygen to my brain.
Okay.
Severe sleep apnea.
So it sounds like severe
Got a CPAP,
sleep apnea. Yep.
which helped.
Yeah.
Started reoxygenating at night.
Yeah.
So we had a period of a year and a half.
It's a year and a
Where
half.
things were improving, or stabilizing.
Okay.
Functional.
Okay.
And then we started to see a decline again. And that was in the midst of COVID. So we kind of hunted and going to the doctor. He had seen neuro-ophthalmology just because of the vision shifts.
Yeah.
So that was being addressed separately and not recognized as PCA. Interesting. And then
Did you
got
get,
to the point where I felt like medications would be helpful. So then we went back to the doctor, insisted on just restarting that diagnostic journey again. And that's when we get the formal diagnosis this spring. So
Were
ultimately,
you-
we're talking 4 to 6 years to get the diagnosis.
okay, so it was just last spring then, so we're talking like 2017 to 2023.
Right.
Going, you know, with changes happening
Mhm.
progressively and not any clear answer.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I was curious if there were scans done, like an
Yes.
MRI and what those showed.
Few brain scans. They did show a shrinkage of the brain that was beyond
Not age typical.
not age
Not
typical.
typical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was something for somebody who was 80.
Yes, but no
Not my
CAT
age.
scans. They did do the lumbar puncture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really the definitive diagnosis from that.
Yeah. Huh. Was that a,
Owls.
Right.
She can say it, I can't.
yeah,
The beta amyloid and tau proteins, but the tau
Were those
higher than the
present?
beta amyloid,
okay.
Yeah,
which is
Okay.
typical of PCA, which is another reason it often bypasses the diagnostic radar. Is the secondary proteins, the tau proteins, are often more elevated
Okay.
than the beta
So we
amyloid.
have some of those tangles
Mhm.
happening, especially they love to sit in that
Yeah.
part,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Down in the occipital lobe, down even in the cerebellum.
yeah.
Yeah, affecting the way, you know, your motor movements.
Hi, I'm Tifa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out, and you might want to visit our website, www.tipasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.